Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, The Ninja King, and today we're doing What If Deku was Antares Reborn, Chapter 2. Anyways, I don't think I should waste any more time, and let's get on with the What If and my channel's intro. So, let's not waste any more time and Midori woke from his sleep. As he did, he went to the washroom and brushed his teeth. As he looked at his teeth, his once properly human-looking teeth now resembled more of a shark-like teeth. Or, well, that would probably more resemble a dragon to his title, the Dragon Monarch. He was also known as the Destruction Monarch. He had two different names. So, Midori just looked at them. He sighs and goes down to see his mom. His foods were now adapted to him since he had somewhat of a small mutation. The doctor said that it was more of an upgrade for him, which Midori had to admit was pretty fitting. Again, as the dragon's Destruction Monarch, he was one of the most powerful monarchs. Next is Sun Jinwoo. As he went out, he ate his food and said goodbye to his mom. It was a weekend, so he decided to wear just a black hoodie, some red. His red hair was flowing in the wind as he was going around. He was whistling to himself, not knowing what to do, as then he almost bumped into someone. He cast her as she almost fell down, as it was a brunette-haired girl with brown hair, as she was just wearing whatever normal outfit she could find on the day. Midori just helped her up. I'm sorry about that, Midori would then say. No problem. Name's Ichako. Nice to meet you. The brunette-haired girl would then say to Midoriya, as Midoriya nods his head and basically shakes her hand as well. Ichiko Midoriya, pleasure to meet you. System, as then Midoriya basically sees a title. Ichako Uraka. Quirk, gravity. Anything she touches allows her to be floated by 4 pads in her hands. If she touches her 4 hands together, that will do it. Midoriya would basically nod himself at this fact. Are you okay? You kind of nodded and nod him. Oh, don't mind me, Midoriya would then say, already seeing basically her quirk in action. He knew how Quirk was powerful, but he wasn't going to steal anything. He didn't even have the capability. His dragon system just made him even more stronger as the Dragon Monarch. Now, if you don't mind, what have you been doing here? Just, scouting the city out. My parents recently got a job, so I managed to move here. Oh, that's actually quite nice. So, what does your parents do? It's a company. I see. So they fix buildings and stuff like that? Yeah, they're a repair company. Huh, it's kinda very fitting, Midoriya would then say, looking at her. You do look like that type of person, but Midoriya looks around, seeing the city. Let's have one question. It's a repair company, correct? Yes, Uraka would then say. Does it get enough jobs? Uraka would then quiet down a bit, as Midoriya realized that he may have touched the sore nerves. I'm sorry about that. No problem, Uraka would then say, smiling back at him, as Midoriya basically smiles at her as well. As the both basically chat around, talk for a bit, and she asks what his quirk is. Midoriya thinks for a bit. The doctors have basically given his quirk the name Dragon Level Up. He cannot even say it, so he just says it. My quirk is basically like a gaming system. Oh, really? Midoriya then shows his interface to Uraka as he's basically soft. Wow, you have such a unique quirk. Does it always come on when you activate it? Not really, I can choose who to look at it and who not to. Oh, that's very interesting, Uraka would then say, as she basically looks at Midoriya. What other things can you do? Well, Midoriya would then say, looking at her with his soft-like teeth, do you have a mutation as well? It comes with the system. Midoriya would then say, I basically have superhuman strength, speed, and the ability to have dragon-like parts. Midoriya shows her with his arms standing a bit of a scale. Oh, that's amazing, Uraka would then say. Midoriya would then pull out his notebook, which was called Quirk Fundamental or Quirk Knowledge. So, can you at least tell me how your quirk works? Yeah, Uraka would then say, even though Midoriya already knew it, he wanted to get a first-hand information. As after basically getting the information he needed, Midoriya would say, interesting. There's a lot of ways you can actually improve your quirk, and I can help you out with that. Really? Ichako would then say with a smile on her face. Yeah. Why not? Let me help you. Midoriya says, as Ichako basically blushes a bit, seeing that smile. The smile was nice and kind, but also at the same time very creepy and menacing, thanks to his teeth. But not today. See me tomorrow at Dagobah Beach. Uraka was confused. The Dagobah Beach was, at least from her knowledge, was filled with trash all the way through. So, as they left, Midoriya basically saw a system notification and heard he got a dungeon key. Taking the dungeon key, he opened it around and looked around. Midoriya was already very powerful as it is. As a few goblins didn't look at him, as basically Midoriya looks back at it. His eyes meeting at the goblins before he has a smile. Taking a deep breath, he unleashes a powerful blast from his mouth, an energy beam that destroys everything in its path. His mouth has two moves. God, that sounds so wrong. By that I mean his breath attack has two forms. One is a plasma-like attack that destroys everything, and another one is a fire-like attack that burns and scorches everything as well. Basically, two powerful and two very destructive powers that basically can neutralize each other if necessary. But Midoriya doesn't do that most of the time because it's much more harder for him to understand his abilities than him himself. What the hell happened there? I started to speak so fast. Anyways, let's get back to the video. Midoriya then moves in at his speed according to the goblins left and right, pulling out his sword Albion within his slicer. Just like Sanjinwu's daggers, these swords seems to be lasting with Midoriya for the most longest of time, as Midoriya slicing, dicing and destroying everything around his place, this cave at least. He meets up with a dungeon boss, a hobgoblin. As he tried to attack him, the arms of the hot god would immediately be sent flying before Midoriya just blasted him into smithereens. Nothing of the hobgoblin was left as its body falls down. Good riddance, goblin, Midoriya would then say, a smirk on his face, as then he counters the reward. The reward has been given to the player. Job change quest has been activated. Job change quest, huh? I wonder what this means. Midoriya remembers his army of dragons and remembers Sanjinwu's monarch title. Actually, I would like to see what this thing does, doesn't it? Midoriya has a smile that coming to the system is kind of creepy as hell. As Midoriya then just starts walking, he basically just whistles to himself. He whistles and leaves the dungeon. People in the street wonder where this boy even came from because he just popped out of nowhere. And they see the boy was whistling, grinning ear to ear, and they were wondering did something good happen to him? But one thing was clear, all these people were backing away from Midoriya because they kind of scared him. Unknowingly, Midoriya was leaking out his aura of the monarch, which I don't even not so sure that monarchs have aura or not, but anyways, he was letting it leak out and people were kind of scared of him, so they were getting back away, and back away. So he decided to question it much often. As Midoriya then coughs a bit, I think I need some place to drink. Midoriya then goes to a vending machine as he basically presses it on. Grabbing his drink, another girl would as well. Oh, I'm sorry about that. Midoriya looks at a girl. She seems to have black like hair, earphone zags, and a t-shirt that was similar to a punk rocker. No problem, Midoriya would then say, taking his drink and giving it to the girl before taking another one from the vending machine as well. They both popped their cans and then drinks it. It was an awkward silence between both of them because both didn't know what to say. As he basically says, Kyokujiro. Oh, Izuku Midoriya, Midoriya says to the girl, as they both basically talk for a bit as well. Just like a chocolate, he managed to get good friends with her. He even learned about her quirk, earphone zags. I see. Can you do more than just sense sound and move around and then blast things? Yeah, pretty much. I understand. Midoriya would then say, looking at her, alright, see you next time, Jiro-san. He writes down another quirk in his notebook. I wonder if he's gonna meet another girl. That would be ridiculous, meaning 3 girls in one day. Kristen, what are the chances of that? The chances are low, but not uncommon. I see. Dragonic instance. Midoriya laughs. Before he remembers something, his whole army, his dragon army. I wish I had that. Well, he kind of still do. He still have the aurora paralysis, but I never got to use it, Midoriya would then say, remembering in the dungeons how he managed to kill all those monsters. Or even the ones he didn't, they immediately get terrified of him, sensing his aura. I should suppress my aura whenever I enter the next dungeon. Probably gives me a final chance to use my abilities. Midoriya then decides to go to the store, buy some things. As he was crunching on his food, I actually noticed someone bump into him. Sorry about that. Midoriya then sees a white-haired little girl. She has a horn on her head as she looks kind of bandaged up. Are you okay? Midoriya would then say to the girl, as then someone walks up. He would be wearing a bird-like mask, hair tied back, yellow, and wearing a somewhat of an unfamiliar uniform / outfit. But for Midoriya, this looks familiar to him. The man then just looks at him as he basically reads out his name. C.A. Hasaikaimem, current leader, Oberhall, Quark, Oberhall. Midoriya would then think he's a villain, as he then looks at the little girl. As then his quirk / system notifies about her. The little girl's name is Ari. Her quirk is Rewind. It allows her to basically rewind things. Midori would think interesting. As he looks at the guy, "My, I'm sorry about that." Overhaul says, "If you don't mind, can I take my daughter back?" Midori looks at him, not trusting him one bit. He grabs Eri as Eri basically looks scared. "Looks like I do have to get bloody." Luckily, there's no heroes here, as then Overhaul immediately gets slammed straight to the wall. As Midori for the very first time has actually used this technically quirk on public basis. As it basically slams Overhaul straight to another wall, as he wouldn't say, "Yeah, I don't think so. I should better deal with him first." As then he basically gets system, kill Overhaul, which he basically says, "Alright then." As he opens his soft teeth, he would then say, "Little girl, close your eyes." As Eri does, he basically burns Overhaul to a crisp. Hope that doesn't cause any problem. Oh, little does he know, that's gonna be a pain in the ass in the future for him. Jordan basically just looks at himself and what he did. He then looks at Eri and then he looks at the crow. As he basically grabs her and then starts to leave with Eri. He basically thinks, "God, I need some time to explain this to Mom after all." And he just leaves. Little did he know someone was actually watching him. Not particularly anyone or any person. Actually, no one was watching him. Midriff felt like someone was watching him, but no one was. After a while, the cops will arrive in the area, find the burned corpse of Overhaul. Nighthawk would especially be shocked. The guy that has been trying to capture for so long basically was just burned to a crisp. They think it never did it, but it's not his jurisdiction, nor his area of work. They ask Endeavor if he has arrived to the city before, and he says no. He was never there for today, or yesterday, or any day in that fact. Heck, he doesn't even know about Overhaul. And thanks to some connection to CSI has in the police, they found that their boss Overhaul is now dead. And not just that, but the girl that they could use to basically create the drugs, erasing drug bullets, have also been gone. So now they're even bit more confused. Because what the hell just happened? And second of all, how did this even happen? So now they're just even bigger confused because their brain has not just only short-circuited, but has stopped to existing. But one thing's for sure, each of them now wants revenge. Except for one muscular dude, who just laughs at this factor. He knows that Overhaul is dead, so his challenge cannot be redeemed. So now he knows that the fact that Overhaul is dead, and there's someone that can actually kill him, means that that person was stronger than Overhaul. Now he definitely wants to challenge him. I can't wait to challenge him. The man with red hair wearing another bird mask would then say, clenching his fist, as he can't wait to fight him. But for now, he'll just go to the fighting ring and basically do his thing. I know that technically speaking in timeline of events, he hasn't even joined the CSI yet, but deal with it. Anyway, let's continue. So Midori arrives and basically shows Eri to Inko, and she basically pleases him and basically decides to adopt the kid. Ray adopts him, Midori thinks to himself, and officially Eri basically becomes Midori's sister, which Midori likes. He always wanted to have a sister, but because his father lives far enough away, it doesn't have the fact that Hasashi is very different from him. And the next few months also passed with him wanting to go to UA. As one day Midori was basically returning, so yeah, he was. Well, he has already done his student council duty, so he had nothing left to do. As he was walking, he felt something. Danger detected. Threat level normal. I see, Midori sighs. As then from the cupboard comes out a slime-like monster. Or at least that's what Midori thought. He realized that he shouldn't think of everything as monsters, since it was definitely someone with a quirk. God damn it! The sludge villain then says to Midori, "I didn't know he was here. Kid, hurry and give me your body." "Yeah, not happening." Midori then says, dodging out of the way before Midori making a claw attack. The slime will immediately get attacked before Midori makes a breath attack at it, burning it a bit. The slime will then get back before trying to attack, and then Midori makes a powerful plasma attack, destroying the villain. Then completely from the inside out, or at least he thought he would. He would just be a small bulb. As then, coming out from the canteen, or basically the sewers, would be All Might, as he then says, "Don't fear, I'm here." Immediately Midori would be flabbergasted seeing All Might. Sure, he was not his favorite hero, and that was Ryoko. But still, this was something else. "Oh my god, All Might!" Midori then says, going into his fanboy mode before immediately pulling out his hero notebook. He says, "Can you please sign this?" Of course I can," All Might would then say, taking it and then signing it a bit. As he does, he would then give it back to Midoriya, and then he would ask, "By any chance, have you seen a villain?" Midoriya would then point at the sludge villain, who was now basically on the floor. "I see." All Might would then immediately scoop up the villain and then putting it away. All Might would then say, "Well, until we meet next time, young Midoriya." "Yeah, bye All Might." And All Might flies away. as Midordan walks away, whistling to himself. As he does, thinking something to him that today was a great day of all days. After all, it always necessarily that he hasn't more better days in his life. As All Might flies away, he basically lands down. As before he de-transforms, before thinks I really need to get myself a successor, don't I? Oof. Actually, All Might then thinks for himself a bit. He even remembers a particular Ovenshire girl. She has no quirk, and she was definitely perfect for it. Ah yes, young Miss Kendall. I remember meeting the young girl. Or maybe he then even remembers another one, Melissa. And he thinks to himself, I wonder which one I should give to it. Melissa's too old and probably doesn't want to join UA anymore. I think I'll just give it to Kendo, as All Might basically thinks to himself walking down. As he didn't know that this decision would definitely change everything for him. Next day, Midori would arrive back in another dungeon. This one was not his job change quest at all. He still needs time to fix that. He looks at his level, which is a level 50. Even after so many years, his level has been progressing a lot slower. Again, he has been capping the dungeons and collecting the dungeon keys and putting it away. So, Midori just does that. He basically pulls out his sword and starts swinging and slashing around without any needs of necessity or anything else. Midori was truly an unlimited monster in his eyes. He basically takes down every monster that was in the area as he basically whistles to himself for getting out. Today was an easier dungeon, Midori says, getting up, unfurling his wings and then flying away. The dragon system had given him some of the abilities he didn't have in his past life. Now he's just waiting for the job change quest where he can officially start summoning dragons of all types. He can't wait to do it, opening those crack-like portals and then summoning the dragons out of it. Those are always some of the most epicest things he did as a monarch, and especially his true dragon transformation. Midori already has a semi-dragon transformation already. It's mostly on some times, but it doesn't mean that he's not weak. He already has superhuman strength, enhancements and everything else. But Midori obviously goes still to the doctor. He's still an anomaly to them. Because the theory about him having two pinky toes is basically correct. That's how his X-ray works. So there's still, and people still celebrate him as the boy that is basically going to bring evolution to the world. Which, surprisingly enough, he did. A lot more people have been started to be born with quirk or awaken their quirk at the age of 30. Which Midori finds it a bit weird to say the least. And all of them seem to have pinky toe joints. He doesn't know why double jointed people nowadays start to have more and more quirk. Which to him makes no sense. The 80% of the population and everything else has basically now been screwed up. Now people don't know who is going to have a quirk and who's not. Because a lot of time, scientists are trying to figure things out. And all of them are still careless by Midori. He doesn't know why. Little did he know that it was basically a higher power doing this. He wanted to do some shits and giggles. This was the same overseer that created the system in the solar leveling universe. He's both the overseer of that version of the solar leveling universe and this version of the MHA universe. For him, this was much more easier. He had a clown-like mask on his face with pure white skin and a little bit of red hair flowing down. He overwear a jester-like outfit, but his outfit was more of a modern-day business kind of way. It had jester-like color, and he was basically looking at Midori as he was giggling and laughing. He didn't know how much more mess he can get this boy into, but it was definitely something else he was gonna get him into. This boy was something he was gonna be enjoying. As Midori flied around a bit, he wonders to himself what other things he can do or what other things can happen in this world. He was more or less just an anomaly that may should have existed, or maybe not. He's not so sure himself on what status he currently presides in this world by. All he knows is that he is very, very unique, to say the least. As Midori lands down, as he basically takes a small breath. Midori says, landing out a breath attack, which basically almost destroys a few trees. I need to keep that in control. Midori then says, taking deep breaths again. He then summons his claws out and scratches the touches the ground a bit. It breaks and cracks everywhere. As basically this was his training area. But I should meet up with a Chaco. He flies away to dig up a beach. As meanwhile, dig up a beach was now pretty much half clean and half wasn't. This was a few days of Midori's effort. As Chaco was basically shown training day in and day out. As Midori was helping him. As he then covered him out. As they both felt the present, or at least Midori did. As he sees a very skeletal looking man coming out with a red haired girl. They didn't want the girl and man to see him, but for some reason He looked at it and almost got a giant car. This was All Might. Did that mean that his quirk was a transformation quirk? And that girl, her name, Midori sees it, Kendo and status worthless. But then it says at him, stolen? What the hell does that mean? Midori always wondered that. Some of the people he had met here and there had something called stolen for some reason. He never knew why, but what did the hell did it mean stolen? Not only did they have the word quirkless, but also stolen. As the girl says, are you sure this is the perfect place to train, All Might? Of course it is, Miss. It's a Kendo. You're gonna be my successor. And once I pass my quirk down to you, you're gonna be great. You already have the body for it, so let's do it. As then, things falls, as they didn't see Midoriya and Otako. As All Might's mouth is gaping and so is Kendo's. The explanation later, All Might shows Midoriya the plan and, well, his system doesn't need to say anything, but it still does. This plan is highly inefficient for females. Midoriya then smacks All Might in the head. What the hell are you doing? You're basically changing her whole biology. What? Kendo then says, right, here I go. A long lesson of biology later. See what I mean? Boys are more steady and strong. Girls are more flexible and fluent. The way you have been basically treating her like a boy. Oh, it's my... Yes. All Might couldn't believe he basically got the lecture of a wall. Otako was basically laughing her ass off on this. She never thought the number one hero, well, as a skeleton. Still, she managed to somehow accept it. And so just like that, All Might's whole regiment basically just changed. And Midoriya basically just started. He wanted to know what All Might meant, so All Might explained the history of One for All and All for One. And Midoriya finally got the reason of why some of the quirks were called stolen. As he finally wonders to himself, can the system be stolen? Before the system then answers to him, not at all. The system cannot be stolen, nor can it be given away. The system is one of a kind to the users. So even if I wanted to, my kids cannot have. The kids can have your powers, but the system itself, definitely not. Dragon Monarch? Alright then, understandable. Midoriya then whistles to himself. Alright, I guess we have a three-way training session from now on. And I'm gonna end things off here. Hope you guys like this part, like, comment, and subscribe. Yeah, anyways, a lot of people are wondering if Midoriya is gonna get any more weaponry like Sun Jinwoo, or is this gonna be his blade? Since I'm pretty sure a lot of people are wondering that. Yes, he will be getting other weapons, maybe even some from the game Solo Leveling Arise. Since the game did come out, and yeah, hope people like this part. Again, like, comment, and subscribe. And see you all next time. Ta-ta!